cars get
I
fired.
have a question.
Yeah.
The switch to screw caps.
You know,
Are all of the wines going in that direction?
you don't see it yet on the wines where we feel like aging is probably something that's done quite commonly. So our Pinot Noirs, where people are quite likely to go ahead and lay that down for a few years, and the Reserve Chardonnay, which also often gets aged for a while. You know, people who are in the know might buy that and age it for a few years. And the reason why we don't with those wines is because while I like screw caps, I think they're ultimately probably the best closure system we have. But aging will happen a little differently under cork than it will under screw cap. And I don't want for you as consumers to have to relearn how to age wine if you think you know how wine ages. And now you're going to have to relearn that under screw cap. So I think for aging wines, it probably still makes sense to use cork for now. And we'll see. We might change our mind on that in the future, but
The most eloquent discussion I ever heard on screw cap versus cork was from David Adelsheim. And he said, imagine we've been using screw caps for the last 800 years. And imagine a guy who was selling cork came to you and said, look, here's the deal. It's quite a bit more expensive. It's quite finicky. It's limited in resource.
I have to ship it halfway around the world.
Yep. And I have to ship it halfway around the world. And about 10% of your wine is going to be not that great.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Exactly.
Come on, let's do cork.
And in all honesty, I agree with that completely. In all honesty, I do think it's a little less than 10%. If I thought it was 10%, then frankly, we would stop using corks today on everything. In fact, we would have stopped 10 years ago or more. It seems to me like the people who are really driven to pioneer screw caps are mainly the New Zealanders. They really pioneered screw caps, and they do it on a lot of Pinot Noirs, everything. But for some reason, I've been talking to some New Zealanders about this, for some reason they get worse corks than we do. And for them it really is 10%. For us it seems more like 1 or 2%. It's a little bit more of a manageable quantity.
All right, you've got a lot of fans here, as you rightly should. We're going to get out of your way. We'll see.
No worries.
How are you having fun? Did you get some of the powder?
Having a lot of fun.